4 years ago, I found out that combat-related injury is worth pretty good money, and I refused it. So, you know, at the time, though, I felt that I was ashamed to take it for a dislocated toe.
Yeah.
But I should have taken it.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's hindsight. But
Yeah,
you felt good at that time doing what you did.
Yeah, I felt kind of. It's the way I was raised. You know, it's the way I was raised. You know.
Sure.
But I wish I had taken it now. I'm okay now. I'm retired police and military. I've done 13 years active military, 17 years active reserve. So I retired as an E8 with 18 and a half years active duty. Police department, I was 28 years Detroit police.
Okay.
And so I get the 3 retirements. I get the military, the police, and Social Security. Now, I don't, it's not high cotton as my grandmother would say, but I'm okay.
Sure.
You know, I don't have to work.
Okay. All right. So when were you discharged?
What year was I discharged? June 69.
June 69. Was that right after you got back from Vietnam?
Not right after. It was about, I got back from Vietnam November 68, and I went to back to Fort Eustis, Virginia. And about January, February 69. Now at this time I got like 7 years and change to retire with my 20 years. But they were sending folks right back to Vietnam. Well, I had no intention of staying out, but I said, well, I'll just take the discharge just to duck at Vietnam, and then re-enlist, then go back in and do my 7 years, 8 months. Well, when I got out in June 69, they were searching for black Detroit police officers. And so I put in for the sheriff's department and the police department. Sheriff's hired me first. And while I was working at the Wayne County Sheriff's, waiting for enough folks to start a class, Detroit called me. And I decided I'd go to Detroit, so I walked out of the Wayne County at that time as a deputy, waiting to go to the academy. We would give the prisoners pills, maybe raid cells for unannounced, that sort of thing. And so I went to Detroit Police Department September of 69.
Okay. Okay.
Then I joined the reserve after about 3 years. I should have joined immediately, but I joined reserve in 73 to 93, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. What made you? Did you find any with your military and the police department? Was there any transfer other than your managerial skill? Obviously, you've been
was there any difficulty?
Were there any transferable skills from the military to your?
Oh, sure. Just the skill of getting along with people, and the amount of maturity that you gain in the military if you're astute enough to actually grab a hold of that. And oh yeah, I had no problem at all with the police department at all.
Okay.
I was fine with it.
Okay. And just a few more questions, really. Was there any adjustment to civilian life for you?
No, and you know, that kind of, there again, I assumed, which is totally unfair. It takes me, I get to be 100 years old before I recognize it. Everybody doesn't know the same thing you do, and they're not comfortable with some of the things that you are. You know, if you can't change a thing, just let it go, right? So I remember when I came home, they were talking about the Vietnam syndrome. And I'd seen a lot, you know, a lot of blood and guts and that, but, you know, there's nothing you could do about it, and I didn't have a problem with adjustment. But I had decided if I'd done something really foolish, the first thing I was going to say is Vietnam syndrome.
Oh, okay.
So,
that was your fallback.
but I didn't see it. I didn't understand it. I did not see it. Guys would, I had a couple of guys come out of the house once I was back home, and he'd sit there. My wife was afraid. He'd sit there and he'd jumpy and, you know, looking off in all this. No, I didn't have a problem with it.
Okay. All right. And what was during your years? How many years on the police force?
28.
28. Did you have a specialty in over those 28 years? Or?
Well, various. I was sergeant, and I worked gang detail. I worked my last 6 years. I was notification and control section, which is just answering the phone. You guys on the street who had a particular problem that they didn't know what to do with, they would call notification and control and tell you what they had. If you knew it off the top of your head, you'd tell them. If not, you would go to the manual and say, well, this is what you do. Then I was about 10 years in the youth section, and that was a good job. I had it made. I had it really made. I had a vehicle to take home every night, and total freedom of movement. You know, anywhere in the city. I had a good job. I had a good run with the police department.
Okay, all right. Just sort of looking back on your career, I think we probably covered quite a bit, and I think we probably took it from A to Z almost, I believe.
Oh yeah, sure.
Now, looking back on your experience on, let's say, that wartime part of it, when you were in Vietnam, how did that affect your life? You know,
I think it would have to be positive. There would be other things that I would do, and I guess Monday morning quarterback, retrospect, all this sort of thing, things I should have done differently. I went to Highland Park College. I got the associate's degree, and if I had been sharp, I would have went ahead and got my bachelor's and that. But I was comfortable, and I was making good money, and I was. But that's Monday morning quarterback.
Okay.
But my experience with the military was positive.
Okay. Well, I know you went in at an early age. Were there any life lessons learned, from your military service?
Well, I'm sure there were. Offhand, I can't think of a very good reply because most of my life lessons were learned at mom's tutoring and at the church and on the street, of course. And I think when I went into the military at 18, I was pretty well prepared for it. I was pretty well prepared for it. But then, obviously, you learn lessons in life, even wherever you are in this walk through life. You're learning every day.
Okay. All right. I think we kind of covered. You have anything else you want to add that we didn't address, or anything you wanted to share?
Nothing I can think of.
Okay.